Okay, that's just straight up fucking gross. I'm not even gonna lie.
Did it ever cross your mind that they make the cop do this to show he's a huge douche?
The thing I don't understand is that when Jojo keeps making these predictions, the people listen and then perfectly repeat it afterwards. I'd just be spiteful and say something slightly different, making my enemy look silly and then attack!
The reason they don't change what they're going to say is because Joseph read their mind using Hammond. It's not just a guess, so they'll continue to go through with the thoughts.
The idea that Jojo managed to place 11 fucking grenades onto the dude's scarf.
They obviously fit, so why are you complaining? And they're all attached together with a string.
That is not standing.
That's because they don't mean it in a literal way, they mean it in a metaphorical way of he's alive.
Yes, and he somehow managed to learn words that weren't actually spoken by anyone during the entire episode, such as slumber.
The Pillarmen are shown to be the smartest creatures in JoJo's and are shown to understand almost anything, including machines they've never seen, so it's safe to say they can decipher languages. I feel like you'll forget this, so for how many times you sin them for intelligence, I'll give a sin for how many times you've forgotten.
Zeppeli's grandson just so happens to look exactly like Dio.
Well, yes and no. Most JoJo characters in early parts had similar face structures, but other than that, they aren't alike at all. Caesar has lighter hair, different eye colour, and he's missing the 3 moles on his ear, so he barely looks like Dio.
Considering the first Pillar Man couldn't speak until he'd listened to the soldiers for a while, I'm curious as to how this dude managed it so quickly, having only been awake for about 30 seconds.
Like I said, the Pillarmen are the most intelligent beings in JoJo's.
Not to ruin their little marriage here, but "till death do us part" wasn't actually being said 2,000 years ago when this dude was last walking about.
Third time I've said the Pillarmen are the most intelligent beings in JoJo's.
They had many of those 2,000 years ago?
Fourth time I've said this, Pillarmen are highly intelligent.
And I'm telling you all of this to give you a chance to get it back and destroy all of our plans, because yeah.
The Pillarmen have already shown to fight fairly. They literally gave Joseph 33 days to train, and you're shocked they're giving away information.
Entity which is over 2,000 years old using the insult Wienerheads.
Fifth time saying they're highly intelligent.
So not only is his technology this advanced, but to be clear, it's also voice activated?
There's been vampires, sun powers, and Aztec gods, but technology is too unrealistic. It's a fantasy. It doesn't need to be realistic to its time period.
After having already ran and hidden inside the building in the first place.
It's called dodging. If he ran away from Caesar, I highly doubt he'd stay in the same room as him.
That's genuinely sexist. The joke is actually not a joke this time. That was fucking sexist.
You are mad when the series isn't correspondent with its time period, but you're also mad when it is. Make up your mind.
Horses going at high speeds that have 0 slowing down distance.
He mind controlled them to instantly stop.
And how exactly did you gauge that?
This would be 6 sins, but I'll give 1 since it's just a vampire, but it'd still be very smart as it is a result of a Pillarman, so they'd get some Pillarman intelligence.
Wait, can he actually create oil or has he just got insanely oily hands? Big final attack.
An entire speech because you didn't pay attention. Joseph has had his gloves covered in oil just like Caesar did after the first encounter. Joseph copied this from him.
If you have time to talk, dude, you have time to breathe.
Breathing and Hammond breathing are completely different. How do you think Strazo, who knew Hammond, didn't die from breathing when he was a vampire?
Attempting to talk to a squirrel.
He wasn't talking to the squirrel. He was talking to Speedwagon and the others.
He soon took to fucking flying, didn't he?
Well, considering he has just became the ultimate life form, you'd think he'd want to try his abilities out.
I'll add 5 cents for that, as it's quite a big deal that it was forgotten.
There is a secret compartment under the main laying area of the coffin.